Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tony, and today I'm going to answer the question that's in the title of this video, which is eBay worth doing in 2020? And you probably had some questions also that come to mind when it comes to eBay, right? We all have doubts. So what are some of those questions that come into mind, right? Can you make money selling online on eBay? Can you actually lose money selling on eBay? Is there enough of a profit margin to make on eBay? Is the market too saturated? Is there too many people selling on eBay that there is not enough room to make a profit? Do you need any experience to sell on eBay? And do you need startup capital? Can you start with $20 or do you need $100 or $1,000 to start selling on eBay to make an actual profit or start a business? And do you need photography equipment or do you just simply start with your phone? At the end of the day, is it worth it? So I'm going to actually answer those questions with a brutal, honest truth. And I'm going to answer each and every one of them so that way you guys get a general idea if eBay is actually worth it for you. If you're just starting, if you're already selling and you just don't know whether to continue or to stop. But before that, do comment what are your opinions on eBay, and if you do have answers to those questions already, do leave a comment. I love to read those. I'll answer back. I definitely like to not start a discussion, but definitely hear back from you guys. And feedback is always great because we learn from each other. You learn from me and I learn from you. But before I get to actually answer those questions, I wanted to introduce myself very shortly. Of course, I'm not going to tell you my whole story because that's 28 years of Anthony. That's 28 years of Anthony's life story, which nobody wants to hear, right? So I'll make it short and simple. I started reselling since 2008 with my family. We first started selling at flea markets. So we didn't actually start on eBay. I didn't actually start selling on eBay until I reached college because I actually needed money. So that's when I discovered eBay and I started selling things. Now you ask yourself, what things did I sell? I sold things that I had around the house that I didn't need anymore, things that I was not using, and things that simply were just laying around doing absolutely nothing, collecting dust. So that may already have answered one of your questions that I've asked earlier in this video. A bit more about my experience, so it's not just some guy talking in the camera, and that way you guys say, okay, at least he knows what he's talking about. Reselling wise, we have been reselling in flea markets. eBay was on and off until late 2018 when my brother and my sister took it more seriously. And the reason why we took it more seriously is because when winter hits, flea markets indoors usually don't generally do really well for us. So we had to find a way to actually make extra money. And at that time, I was living alone with an ex-girlfriend. So I myself needed to generate a little bit of money. I was selling insurance. I was still self-employed, but I wasn't just making enough. So I had to find a way to actually make money. And one of the ways I made money is selling on eBay. And how I made it through a few months by myself before I ended up moving back because I had to reset was selling my watches, some of my suits, some of my clothes that I no longer needed, and some stuff I had lying around there in vain. eBay really didn't become a serious thing until 2019. And we were noobs in the sense where we were completely new to it. We didn't know how to scale it from being small to something large. We just took it as a part-time thing so it can make us extra money, but then realized that it can become something much bigger. But that was 2019. So let's go forward to 2020. So now you know a little bit about me, my experience, that I have been selling on eBay for about almost a year and a half. I have been reselling as a person since 2008 with my family. And to be honest, reselling wasn't my passion. When I first started, I dreaded reselling. So I'm not here to tell you that, yeah, I love reselling. No, I didn't love reselling at all, period. When I first started, when I was a kid, I was naive. I didn't know there was any money to be made in it. I just saw it as a pastime my parents did just because they didn't want to spend time in the house, without realizing that it was actually a good way to make money, and it worked. Let's get to the questions, right? That's why you're here. And before I do that, please do comment your experience of reselling. How long have you been doing it? What your experience is, how you dealt with reselling, whether you started on eBay, flea markets, Amazon, whether you started with Mercari or Poshmark and you're still doing it. Do comment below. I love to hear back from you guys. It would be completely awesome to hear your stories, and I would love to read and engage with you guys. Also guys, before I go into my story, if you do end up liking my content and you do find this valuable, I hope you do, just please leave a like and subscribe to my channel for future content like this, where I talk about reselling on eBay. Is it worth it? Is it worth selling on Mercari? Is it worth selling on Poshmark? And is it worth selling online, period? I also document my journey as I resell and take my store from zero, well, not that much of a zero, but all the way up to $1 million store, which is my goal. So I'll bring you guys along for the journey. So let's get started on the topic, which is, can you make money on eBay? And the questions that follow. So can you make money in 2020 selling on eBay? The answer is yes. Yes, you can. And I'm not saying it because I sell on eBay personally full time. I'm saying this because the logistics is there. There is enough room for you to make money. You can make money selling on eBay. Can you lose money selling on eBay? The brutal, honest answer is yes. You can actually lose money selling on eBay. It's business. It's not always profitable, but it all comes down to research. If there's anything I learned about selling on eBay, is do your research. Because if you don't do your research, you don't click on the sold and completed items tab, you don't see what's on sale, how much of it is on sale, then you might buy an item such as phone cases, where there's so much of them and really nobody wants to buy a phone case online when I can just go to the 99-cent store or buy them at the actual phone store, or just walk around to the local downtown and buy a phone case. And I made that mistake myself, so I'm letting you guys know, unless it worked out for you. If it did, you are a legend. So it leads to the next two questions. Is there enough of a profit margin? And the answer is yes. It just depends on what you're going to sell. If you're selling specific items like sneakers, or you're reselling sneakers, then there's definitely a market. There will always be a market for reselling sneakers, because every time a sneaker pops out or drops, you can just simply buy it if you get lucky enough to get it on your hands, and you just resell it. Or if you get specialty items that are extremely rare, and there are collectors out there that look for these specialty items, you can sell them and make money. So that may have already answered the question of, is the market too saturated? And it all comes down to, what are you selling? For example, right, I collect Pops, Funko Pops. I don't know if you guys know what that are, but if you do, then you understand that there will always be a market for Funko Pops. It will never be too saturated, because there's always be somebody looking for a specific one. Now when it comes to, for example, phone cases, right, the market is super saturated, which means that I can list the most beautiful phone case on planet Earth, but there's 10 other people that list other 10 beautiful phone cases that cost a lot less, and there's like about a gazillion phone cases on eBay, Amazon, Mercari, Poshmark, you name it, it's not worth it. Or nail polishes sometimes, just depends on, I guess, the color and the brand. It just depends on the color and the brand. So this leads me into the next question, is, do you need experience to sell on eBay? And the brutal honest answer to that is no, absolutely not. When we first started, we had zero experience full selling on eBay. I mean, we resold, we resell, we were doing reselling at flea markets, but it was not the same as eBay, which means that we still needed to do our research. Now that doesn't require any experience. That just requires a bit of determination and a bit of just sitting down, allocating some time, sitting in front of a computer and researching what you're going to sell and how you're going to sell it. Because at the end of the day, no matter what you sell, you might end up competing against other people selling that very specific item. So you have to do your research on how to list your items. So I think I already answered this question before explaining my life story and my experience. Do you need startup capital to sell on eBay? And the answer is no. It's simple, because you can start selling stuff around your house, stuff that you no longer need. And sometimes we have watches, sometimes we have clocks, sometimes we have collectible items that we no longer need and just collecting dust, and we need the extra cash. So that's actually a challenge for you guys if you're struggling to find something on eBay, or you're just starting out and you're trying to figure out, what do I sell in order to start my store on eBay? Go to the closet, grab something, or go to the shelves grab something that's there in vanity, that has no purpose at the current moment or will not have any purpose, period, and sell it on eBay and make a profit. List at least 5 items. So if you do list 5 items, come back to this video, leave a comment and say, I listed 5 items, I will give you a heart, and I might actually give you a gift, because that would be extremely awesome. Leads into the next question is, do you need photography equipment to take awesome pictures for your listings? The brutal honest answer to that is no. I have something that I've used for like the last year and a half, and that is my iPhone. Lighting, sunlight, or if I have good lighting in the living room, I simply do this. I grab my composition book, I may block that out with something, and I may put something on top of that, make me a little item, maybe a makeup kit or something, or I grab a piece of construction paper, art paper, whatever little design, I put it on top, and I take a picture with my iPhone, and voila, you got yourself a really nice listing picture. So it doesn't require a light box, it doesn't require a soft box. I have a setup for a soft box and a light box, but I worked up to it, so that means that I made enough money to actually afford buying it without affecting my profits or anything that I have saved. So that's the one mistake that a lot of sellers will make that luckily I didn't make, because I thought about it first, saying that I don't need any equipment, I just need my phone because it takes high definition pictures, it has a good megapixel camera, and I really don't need to actually buy equipment when my phone can do the job for me. Alright guys, so that's my brutal honest answer to is it worth selling on eBay in 2020. Now take into account that a lot of stores are going out of business. Like you got Lord & Taylor's unfortunately going out of business, you have Victoria's Secret that filed for bankruptcy. So you have a lot of liquidation that's going to be available. So if you do have the capital to buy liquidation, you have the ability to actually buy it. And that should be a signal that since this whole situation happened with the virus, it exposed that most of businesses can be done online, and that walk-in retail shops do have a weakness, and that weakness is if there is no foot traffic, they die, which means that department stores may actually suffer, and you can see the transitioning to online sales. So that means take advantage of it. 2020 may be the turning point to what could be the new era of commerce, which is e-commerce, a giant push into what could be you selling online through eBay, Mercari, and Poshmark. And it could be worth it in 2020 because it's proven. Even though sales may have dropped for a little bit, from a business perspective, if you look at the numbers for eBay, yes, they may have dropped because nobody was receiving income for a while. But once, I guess, the stimulus packages hits and unemployment hits, people were buying stuff online and on eBay. For example, I sold vitamins on eBay. I sold health and beauty products on eBay. And a bit of a funny comment, I sold condoms on eBay. So I sold a ridiculous amount of crazy stuff on eBay throughout these last 3 months. So if you're wondering what can I sell, you can practically sell anything. So everybody, let me know your opinion on if you think it's worth selling on eBay in 2020, what your answer to the question that I asked are, and if you think you find value in reselling, period. Thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it, taking time out of your day to watch me on camera. Hopefully I was able to help out, clear some doubt whether or not eBay is worth it in 2020, and whether or not the e-commerce wave is actually going to grow or decline. So if you found some help in this video, do give me a like. That way more people can take a look at this video so YouTube can keep showing it. And please subscribe to my channel where I show a lot of unboxing videos. I'm actually transitioning when it comes to liquidation to selling on my own personal store. So if you want to see an example of my eBay store, my Mercari store, and my Poshmark store, I'll leave the links in the description so you guys can see how I'm doing, and if you got any improvements or you can improve on your store, or you can see mistakes I've done in my store which you shouldn't commit in your store, because I'm not perfect at the end of the day. So thank you guys for watching, and also make sure you subscribe, hit the little notification button, which is the bell button next to subscribe. Also share this video on your Facebook platform if you do have one, so more people or your friends can actually see this video and make a decision whether or not eBay is worth it for them, and if they take up the challenge of listing 5 items from their household and selling it on eBay. Alright guys, so this was Hustling with Tony. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the likes, I appreciate the comments, and I appreciate the subscribers. Love you guys. You'll be part of my new family. So when I do hit 1,000 subscribers, I may do a $50 giveaway, or I may actually buy somebody a liquidation box so they can sell it on eBay as part of a gift. Alright everybody, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Hasta la vista.